Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be replacing and upgrading some outdoor landscape lighting. The original system hasn't been fully functional in a while, so I'll be fixing that. We will be replacing the lights themselves and also replacing the original wireless timer with a new hardwired timer. Let's begin. The original system had a wireless timer that connected to the light controller to tell it when to come on and off. Unfortunately, the old wireless technology can be a bit problematic. So I'll be removing the timer and installing a new reliable hardwired timer. First, I want to remove the wireless receiver so the controller will operate the lights only when power is applied. Once I found out where the controller was located, it appeared to be in a mess. I'm not really sure if it was installed this way or at some point someone came out and tried to fix the wireless timer. Either way, I'll clean it up. I'll remove the receiver so the controller now only functions when power is supplied. With the old receiver gone, it's time to wire in the new timer. I'll be installing the timer on the ceiling of the basement. First, I will nail in the back box. Now I'm going to tap into the basement circuit and run a wire to the landscape lighting controller. With the breaker turned off to the basement, I can begin rewiring. This is the wire that will go to the controller. Then this wire comes from the breaker and goes to a GFCI outlet that's located down here. I'll cut the wire from the breaker to connect to the timer, then I'll reconnect the wire going to the GFCI. The wire that I looped is the wire that will go to the controller. I went ahead and ran the wire to the controller's location. Now I can secure the wire with electrical staples. The timer is ready to be connected. I already stripped everything and it's ready to go. Again, this is the wire to the controller, and these are the line wires, or the wires that will always have power. Next, I'll connect all the ground wires together and make a pigtail. Then I'll do the same thing with the neutrals. Now for the hot or live wires. I'm going to connect the two live wires that always have power together and leave one for the controller that will be switched by the timer. Lastly, I need to wire the timer itself up. I'll strip all the wires, then connect the ground wire to the timer and connect the neutral wire to the timer. Then I'll wire the rest like a normal light switch. With the wiring done, I'll tuck the wires into the box, then screw in the timer, and lastly install the cover plate. With the timer installed, I need to rewire this outlet so it'll operate when the timer comes on. This outlet is wired to a different circuit, so I'll have to shut off the breaker connected to it. Now I remove the cover and double check that it has no power. No power is present, so I'll remove the rest of it. This outlet was installed using the backstab method, which I personally do not like. So I'll cut the wires to it and remove the remaining backstabbed wires later. This is the wire coming from the timer that I'll insert to the back box. Now I'll connect all the grounds, then connect the wires together from the other circuit so it'll still have power. Finally, I can just wire up the outlet to the timer wires. And I'm going to use screw terminals instead of backstabbing. I can reinstall the outlet and put the plate back on. With all the wiring completed, I'll restore power and turn on both breakers. I was checking the existing circuit that the outlet was originally wired to and making sure everything was working properly. I stumbled across an outlet that my tester said was wired incorrectly. At first I thought it may have been something that I did, but turns out the outlet was originally wired incorrectly. I'll have to try to make this another video repairing the problem. Anyway, I programmed the timer and added a small sign indicating what the timer is for. Now the second part of the upgrade is the fixtures. I'm going to be replacing all of the original spotlights and path lights. The problem with these older spotlights is they come apart easily, and they tend to fall over a lot. Once they fall apart or fall down, they obviously won't function the right way. The pathway lights are also completely broken, so we'll remove them and get new ones in their place. This is the new type of spotlight I'll be using. It's LED and can be adjusted to any angle. And there's an in-ground stake, so it'll remain in place, unlike the old ones that just sat on the ground. The replacement of the old light should be pretty simple. I'll start by removing the old light, and instead of taking apart the bulb assembly to unscrew the wires, I'm just going to cut them. Now with the old fixture gone, let's install the new one. First I'll strip the wires and wire it up to the new light. I don't need all of this wire, so I'm going to cut it down. I'll make a spot for the connection and strip the wires on the light, then connect them with wire nuts. To keep everything watertight, I'll wrap some electrical tape around the wire nuts to seal everything out. And I'm going to bury the connection a little bit. I wanted the new spotlights to all be a certain distance from the house, so I decided 15 inches should be good. And there it is! These look a lot better than the old ones. Finally for the pathway lights. The originals have seen better days. One has somehow been completely destroyed and the other one was knocked down at some point and buried over the years with pine needles. I've nothing bad to say about the old ones. The finish is faded, but that just happens. These lights have been installed for over 25 years after all. Here's the new path lights I'll use. They're a bit smaller and have a different finish. They look pretty nice. Since the original lights are already out of the ground, I'm only going to have to cut the wires to them. The new lights have an interesting connection method on them that makes wiring pretty simple. You place the wires inside this clamp and tighten it down, then the clamp pierces into the wire and makes the connection. The old path lights seem to have a variant of this. Then I'll get the rest of the light pushed into the ground, and finish off by inserting the LED bulb and screwing on the decorative cone. The upgrade's now completed. All the lights are shining brightly and they should be in service for years to come. I love these new ones and I'm glad the lighting system's back up and running. Way better than the old ones. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought and tell me what you think of these lights and the timer. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.